celebrating the hard work and determination of our area athletes. This is The Score on WQAD News 8.
Good evening and welcome to The Score Sunday. This past week, we crowned some volleyball champions in Iowa as 3 teams had a chance at claiming the state title. Coming up tonight, the year of the Spartans continues as the Pleasant Valley Volleyball team won their first ever state title. We'll talk with some of the Lady Spartans about their championship. West Liberty played for the 3A title, coming up short, but did come away with the state runner-up honors. We'll talk to the Comets about their season. Our FCA Story of the Week shows us how the Monmouth women's basketball team will look to keep up with the Joneses, and the Augie men's and women's basketball teams are ready to roll this season. We start tonight with the Pleasant Valley Volleyball team, who captured their first ever state title in volleyball. We have 3 members of the state championship Pleasant Valley volleyball team with us today. We have Riley Morgan, Ara Cottrell, and Molly Albrecht. Ladies, congratulations on winning the state championship. And I guess, Riley, we'll start with you being a senior. What was the most exciting part about going up to state this year for you guys, knowing that you've been there before? It's been a tough go at state. So what was the best part about going back again your senior year?
Knowing that we had a lot of confidence coming back because we were one of the top ranked teams, but seeing the people we had to play, they were really tough teams coming into it. So we know we had to work really hard. But I think pushing our way through and beating Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial were 2 of the most exciting things we had to do, considering we lost to Ankeny last year in the semis. We just really wanted to push through, and winning that was really exciting for us.
All right, as a senior, how much motivation did this group have to kind of at least get to the championship and give yourselves a chance and then hopefully win the whole thing? What was the motivation for you ladies this year?
Well, at the beginning of the season, we set goals. The first one to win the MAC, be solo outright MAC champs, and then make it to state and then win state. So we had a lot of confidence and motivation going into state that we need to win, we need to prove the team that we are and show our skills. And yeah.
Molly, being a sophomore on a pretty senior laden team, what was it like for you to be part of this run this year, and just kind of, I guess your role may not have been as big as you wanted or whatever, but you still had a pretty big role for this team being a sophomore.
I loved every second with these girls. I really love these seniors. They all pushed us all to get better and to win, and they all wanted redemption from last year, and it was so fun to be a part of that this year.
Riley, knowing you guys wanted redemption, yeah, you get Ankeny Centennial in game 1. You beat them 3-1, and then you knew, like you said, you had Ankeny in the semifinals, which they got you last year. What was the difference this year for you ladies to be able to beat them 3-1?
We were just all fired up from losing last year. That we all had, that was our motivation to go out and give everything we had out there. So we knew we could push through it. And since we have a majority of a lot of the girls were the same from last year, we knew that we were close to beating them last year, so we could push through and do it this year. And even though they are a really great team, we just had that motivation that helped us push through.
Ara, what did that mean to beat them? Was that one of the special moments? Obviously, winning state was pretty special too, but was that win in the semifinals, did that mean a lot to you ladies?
Yes, it meant everything. It was the first time ever even making it to the championship for PV. And it just beating the step after 2 years of getting knocked out in the semis, it meant everything to us.
So Riley, this team wins the first 2, 3-1. You go to that championship game and you sweep Cedar Falls. What did this team do differently in that championship game that just made you so much more better?
We just all knew how bad we wanted it, and going into it, yeah, they were a lower ranked team, but we knew they would still push us and play for it and want it a lot, just like we did. But we just had to want it more and give it our all because it was our last game of the season.
Morgan, to be a sophomore out there, were there nerves for you in that state championship game at all?
A little bit, but I was just mainly excited to get out there and win. We all had the mentality that we were going to win, and we had so much confidence going out there. It was really just an exciting game to play.
Ara, why this year, this team, were you able to accomplish this goal? Obviously, you've had other teams that have gotten there and have been close. So what made this team so special, and maybe something that was different about this team that I guess allowed you or enabled you guys to win that state championship this year?
This year we had an extremely competitive team. I mean, we've had competitive teams in the past years, but we had a lot of the same girls returning, and then lots of the girls stepped up to just we just had like a super competitive team all the way along, and we all got along. It was just a fun experience all through the season.
I want all three of you to answer this. Best part about the state tournament this year. The obvious answer is winning the state championship. So I'm not going to let you say that, but give me something else that you really enjoyed this year up at the state tournament. Riley, we'll start with you.
I really enjoyed, honestly, watching the competitive volleyball throughout all the classes, but beating Ankeny in the semis is probably the most exciting thing and one of my favorite things from this year's tournament.
I would say making it past the semifinals and to the championship was just so exciting because I've been there the past 2 years, and just beating our past record was amazing.
I would just say that the environment was really fun. I personally have never played in that big of an environment before. Against Assumption, it was pretty intense, but the state championship, the state tournament was just something completely different, and it was an awesome experience.
All right, another one for all three of you to answer, and you can pick a game at state or any game throughout the season, but the toughest game or toughest team you played this year, and again, we'll start with Riley.
I mean, there were a couple tough teams. I mean, our Assumption game was probably a super big game for us because knowing that they've had a strong team the past couple of years, and that would be who we'd have to compete against to win the MAC. But also, all three teams that we played in the state tournament were super tough teams that we had to go after and push ourselves to win.
I would say the same thing as Riley. I mean, I would pick Ankeny just because we had like that revenge mentality of trying to like knock them out, and we did, and that was a great feeling for us.
I would also probably say Ankeny just because they all had a lot of high-level players, and they just had a lot of intensity, and I think they were the highest level team that we played this year.
All right, last one for you ladies. And the seniors, you guys can answer first. Something you will or won't miss about Pleasant Valley Volleyball?
I'll definitely miss our pregame locker room dancing because it always gets us in a good mood and gets us hyped for the game, and it's always just a fun time to be in that environment and around these girls.
I'll miss all the girls leaving this year. It's hard to say that goodbye, but I wish them best of luck next year, and I know that they'll kick butt, and I'm excited to watch them.
Molly, what will you miss about the seniors?
They were all just very competitive and very supportive. This was my first year playing varsity, and they all really had a lot of confidence and believed in me. They helped me really get through this season, and I'm just going to miss all of them a lot.
Well, ladies, congratulations again on the first ever state championship for volleyball in Pleasant Valley history. You finished the year 33-4, and I'm sure if it hasn't set in, it will set in pretty soon. So congratulations, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Let's make history. How this year's team was able to accomplish so much on the court. That's coming up next.
The Score continues on WQAD News 8.
It was back to the state tournament for the third time in 4 years for the West Liberty Comets. This year, the Comets advanced to the championship game, coming up just short of their ultimate goal, but still earning the best finish in school history.
We are now joined by 5 members of the state runner-up West Liberty volleyball team. We have Monica Morales, Macy Dahlfelt, Sophie Bicey, Brooklyn Bicey, and Miley Henderson. Ladies, congratulations on a great year. You finished 39-5, and you finished second in the state in Class 3A. And Monica, we'll start with you. Just going into this year, this team had had so much success. You're coming off a state performance last year. What were the expectations for this team? Was it to get back to state and do what you did? Or, I mean, were the expectations lower? What were the expectations for this team this year?
I think our expectations was just try our best with what we have, make the most of what we've got, and just have fun.
Macy, talking to Coach Galvan, he said that you guys didn't necessarily talk about state so much this year at the beginning of the year. Why was that?
We focused more on the team aspect rather than the winning aspect, and getting as far as we could within the season. Mostly just because we were very young and we didn't know what the season was going to bring. And we thought you know, if we could be close as a team and as friends, that it could take us all the way. And, you know, we were really close, did our best, and with good team chemistry came a winning season.
Sophie, obviously you're new to the team being a freshman. What was your role, or what did you think your role was going to be this year on a team that has had so much success recently?
Well, I thought that my role would be like very little, but it ended up being like a lot more than I expected it to be. So, well, it was just good to like be able to play with everyone and be able to be a winning team and go to the state tournament. So, yeah.
Brooklyn, was there a game? Was there a practice? Was there a moment in the season when you ladies realized that you had something special and could make the run that you did?
At the beginning of the season, we went to a couple volleyball camps and we performed really well because we were just having fun. And obviously we had no record because it was just a camp. And then after that, we just went into the season confident because we saw like our potential and we carried through the entire season.
To get back to state as a senior, Miley, what did that mean to you?
So we made it to state my sophomore year, and I wasn't really a big part of the team. And so this year being able to play and being able to contribute to the team meant a lot to me. And it was super fun to play with a bunch of girls that I haven't really played with before, with having a young team. And it was just a super special year for me.
Monica, you get up there and you are the 4 seed. You beat Mount Vernon 3-0 in the first game up at state. Did that kind of ease this team into like, all right, hey, yeah, we belong here. We win the first one and kind of see what happens after that?
Yeah, I think it definitely gave us a confidence showing everyone that we do deserve to be here. We're able to overcome a big team. That was ease. It was definitely a hard-working game there, but we definitely showed up and said we are here for a reason and we want to show up.
Macy, I'll come back to you in a second, but Sophie, being a freshman, did you have nerves up at state at all?
Oh yeah, this whole season has been like really nerve-wracking. And then just to play in like a bigger game, it was like, oh my. Like, with everyone watching you too, it was really nerve-wracking.
I think so. Really like overcame her nerves throughout the season. And I was nervous for her to start, especially like as our first server, you know. But she handled the pressure really well, and I'm really proud of her.
Brooklyn, did you have nerves for your sister, and did you ever give her a chance did you say anything to her to kind of ease her into the year?
At the beginning, I was just like, you got it. Like, you played a lot of volleyball. Like, just have confidence. We have the first serve. Like, you got it. I was kind of messing with her. I was like, hey, we got first serve. Like, what are you going to do with it? But she did amazing. And as a freshman, like, seeing the kind of confidence that she carried into the state tournament, it was awesome to see.
All right, for the 2 seniors, Macy, I'll ask you first. What will you miss or won't miss about the West Liberty volleyball team?
I will definitely miss playing with the girls this season especially, but also in the past. Like, I miss the girls that have left. I think the girls are what made the season the most fun. What I won't miss, oh gosh, I don't know if there's anything that I won't miss. You know, every part of the season was fun for me. Maybe some of the practices where we do a 2 out of 3 drill and we do a serving drill, and there is punishments for running. It's just running. It's not too bad, but probably won't miss those very much.
How about you, Miley? What were you?
I definitely agree with Macy. Like, this team and all of the teams I played with before mean a lot to me, and I will forever cherish these memories. But another thing that I will definitely miss is like the community support throughout the whole season, to practices, and even like our parents making team dinners before our games, and especially during state, people donating money for our meals and for students to get into the games, and just the whole aspect of our community. I think it means a lot to all of us.
All right, so I'm going to throw this number out there and see what it means to any of you. The number is 91. Does that number mean anything to any of you?
Something Mason said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you guys amazed like everyone else was at how?
Yeah. Very.
Yeah, Macy's just Macy. Well, she's just outstanding. She's a really good volleyball player. I think we all know that.
I think it also makes Macy very special is that she's such a humble player and she makes sure not to be too cocky or make sure that everyone knows, but she just shows it throughout her playing.
And you can see like how big of a leader she is on and off the court.
Yeah,
That was-
Can't do it, I guess. You know, every time a news reporter asks me, you know, like, how do you do this? And I'm like, well, I can't do it without my teammates. You know, like I need a pass, I need a set. You know, I can't do it by myself. And they give me the opportunities that I get to experience.
Well, it was definitely fun to cover all 5 of you ladies and the team this year. Congratulations. 39 wins, most in school history, and state runner-up for the first time ever. So congratulations on a great year, ladies.
Thank you.
We'd also like to congratulate Burlington Notre Dame on their back-to-back state championships in volleyball. It's halftime. Up next, keeping up with the Joneses. How the Monmouth women's basketball team hopes a long line of winning will mean success for them this season. It's next in our FCA Story of the Week on The Score Sunday. Since its consolidation in 1989, tiny Colfax Ridgeview High School in central Illinois has amassed nearly 1,200 boys and girls basketball victories. A family-friendly theme for the Cougars through the years is keeping up with the Joneses. As FCA's Dan Pearson reports, the Monmouth Fighting Scots hope to experience that same success from the next generation of the Jones family tree.
It has been a whirlwind getting started.
Quick learners and a quick teacher. Megan Jones quickly established relationships when she came on board at Monmouth College in August as head women's basketball coach. This after 3 important seasons as a Luther College assistant.
Lots of little things. I feel really fortunate that I learned from the head coach at Luther, Amanda Bailey. She let me be pretty immersed in a lot of that, and I still tell her now, we text a lot, like, I'm so glad I had so much time with you, because she taught me a lot about just the organizational side, how to carry yourself on the sideline, on the court.
Numbers are low, but desire is high for the Fighting Scots. Appreciation is high as well.
She definitely can relate to us well just because she's she recently had played a couple years ago, so she kind of knows like what's going on in women's basketball right now. It's not like old school for her. She's like part of it right now.
Oh, she gets it honest. Having grown up in a basketball family, mom and dad, both coaches, modeling the passion, the purpose, the relationship of coaching. How good are they? They have a basketball court named after them.
That is pretty legendary. I was really proud of them that the school decided to honor them in that way. They've just given to the community so much, and obviously a lot of those conversations around the dinner table growing up were about basketball, X's and O's, but more about just how to mentor their student athletes.
Coaching influence. Megan Jones has seen it her entire life. Speaking of a lifetime legacy,
I think that's the coolest part about coaching, and something that I've seen with my parents is those that come back and invite them to weddings or invite them to different things, who are, 20 years out. And so my mom has coached junior high girls basketball for 30 plus years, and my dad has kind of gone from high school boys to high school girls, and now is helping my mom on the junior high side of things. And so to impact people's lives at such a young age, for them to come back when they're in their 30s and 40s is pretty cool and reflective of the impact that they've had.
Megan Jones, a product of positive coaching, committed to that game plan as her young coaching career hits a full court press. With the FCA Story of the Week, I'm Dan Pearson.
Thanks, Dan. Time for our last break. Up next, Hoop Dreams, the approach for the Augie men's and women's basketball teams this season. It's next on The Score Sunday. College basketball season is just around the corner. The Augustana Vikings hit the hardwood with a brand new head coach for the 2nd straight season, but he's a very familiar face. After 28 years as an assistant, Tom Jesse is ready for his first season as head coach. The Augustana alum replaces Steve Schaefer, who left Augie after just 1 season. The Vikings enjoyed plenty of success in a COVID-shortened season last winter. The players are very familiar with their new head coach and are eager to hit the ground running.
No. It's going to be really nice because Coach Jesse's been here for a while, so I've known him for a while too, so it's not really that much of a change. And he also knows like what it takes to be successful. He was under Coach G, and he's taken back like a lot of like the same values that Coach G has. So I feel like this transition will be really easy and we'll be successful.
They understand what's expected, and right now, I'd say the theme of our program right now, the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks of practice is, hey, this is where we're at. This is where we need to get. And it's a process. And every day we just keep striving to get to that position.
Augustana opened their season on Saturday, falling on the road to number 17 ranked UW Oshkosh. The Vikings home opener is November 12th against nationally ranked Dubuque. It's been a decade for Augie women's basketball coach Mark Beinborn. This year's Augustana team is ready to take the next step in the CCIW. Mark Beinborn's Lady Vikings boast a half dozen local players this season, along with plenty of other talent from around the Midwest. Augustana is coming off a COVID-shortened season a year ago where they went 4-6 in front of no fans in the stands. The Vikings like the group they have back this season, setting a high bar from both the head coach and the players.
This might be the first year where my players' expectations might be, not higher than mine. Don't get me wrong, I've always wanted to win conference, but they believe that they can do it. I believe they can. I just know that there's work that needs to be done, and we need to do that every day. They're hungry. They push each other on a daily basis. This is probably the best group we have in the sense of they'll get after each other every day, and they walk off the floor with a ton of respect for each other.
I think our expectations are just a little bit higher because we didn't get that chance last year, and I don't think we felt like we got a fair shot. So for us, it's more of like a revenge year. So that's why the expectations are so high. Because I think, especially when the rankings came out, they ranked us a little lower than we want to be. Clearly, we want to be that top 3 at least, and we didn't get that. So we're definitely out for revenge this year.
The Augustana women open their season this Tuesday when they welcome Knox to the Carver Center. That's our show for tonight. We'd like to thank you for watching, and we hope to see you back here next week for the Score Sunday.